Doug Parker considered his time at MCC as formational to who he has become, how he leads his business, and as importantly, how he supports the community that has supported him. Doug is Senior Vice President at Sage Body & Company and has been working in the investment industry for 35 years. Before Doug launched his career, he started right here at MCC.
Yeah, the first time I met Doug Parker was 25 years ago. We were dads in our son's Cub Scout troop. And over those couple of years that we were in that together, we went on camping trips and all sorts of activities with the boys. And you really get to know a fella in that kind of environment. And I knew early on that, Doug had the qualities and the attributes of a good person, and we just hit it right off. And we've been friends ever since. I nominated Doug Parker for the MCC Alumni Hall of Fame because to me, Doug is the epitome of an alum that should be recognized this way. He has been, hit the very top levels of his industry, but he's not just all about business success. He is a giver. He's a giver of himself, his time, his talents. He's been a great philanthropist, a great community member in Rochester, and he's the type of guy that I want to see on that wall. But I don't think he's going to really appreciate this recognition until sometime after the ceremony, when he realizes that out of some 500,000 alumni, that he's only one of around 100 people to earn this recognition. And I know that this is something that he will cherish the rest of his life. The world needs more Doug Parkers.
So I discovered MCC when I was a sophomore in high school. Our band director, Bill Boyd, brought the jazz band to the MCC Jazz Festival. The clinic band that year was Woody Herman and the Thundering Herd. We had a chance to play with other high school bands and listen to each other, and then listen to the Woody Herman Orchestra that evening. And I left the school that night with two thoughts in my mind. One was jazz was pretty cool, and the other was, looks like college is gonna be pretty cool too. Oddly enough, I'm spending a lot of time talking about music, and yet it's not what I do for a living. I'm a financial planner and investment manager. But what I recognized early was that music was an outlet for me and a place where I could express myself, and you could stay engaged in music and not have to depend on it to make a living, which is quite freeing. When I was at MCC, I studied percussion under Chuck Morey, but evolved to become a guitar player and have been in bands my entire life. And today I'm part of a 16-piece big band and actually still playing some of the charts from the Woody Herman Orchestra. I'm a financial planner and investment manager with Sage Body & Company. I'm part of a team of 12 people. We run investments and planning for about 550 families and about 70 businesses. But we have a very simple mission statement. We want to improve the economic position and quality of life for our clients and the people they love. And that is at the root of everything we do in the practice. I'm heavily involved with Hope Hall School. Hope Hall School is a nonprofit school that takes kids that are not succeeding in pretty much any other educational environment and puts them through the normal regimen of grammar school, middle school, and high school, and graduates them through high school. Many of these kids go on to college. These are kids that would not have otherwise succeeded in school. Sister Diana Dolce, who created and runs this school of roughly 140 students, has created an environment where every kid can succeed. We just have to figure out how they learn and help teach them in that model. I'm so pleased to be a part of that. Education to me is the single most important gift we can give anybody, and if we can give it to people who otherwise wouldn't have gotten it, then God bless. This is an awesome organization to be engaged with. Education is the great equalizer. It's the thing that levels the playing field for everybody. And Monroe Community College is the kind of place that is accessible to everybody. If you're near the end of your career, you want to learn new things, you can be at MCC. If you're a student looking for a high quality education, competitively priced, you can be at MCC. If you're someone still trying to get your feet under you, you could be at MCC. This is a place that is open to the entire community. It's right in the title of the school, Community College, and it's a place that's accessible to everybody in our community. I'm humbled and honored to be nominated as a member of the Alumni Hall of Fame, particularly because Monroe Community College holds such a special place in my heart, and I think really is a gem in the community.
Erin Waller is a proud member of MCC's class of 1998 and a passionate supporter of MCC. Employed by Invesco Limited, when Erin is not working or writing, she spends her time volunteering in the community, including at MCC. A recent graduate of Leadership Rochester, Erin serves as the executive director of Listen to Your Mother, a show which raises support for the Society for the Protection and Care of Children.
Erin, in her junior year in high school, was accepted at Oswego, Fredonia, in Geneseo. She came to us one day and said, "I'm not ready to go away yet, and I don't think I can do what is expected of me and to do it right." These were the words from a young lady who was a high honor roll student. So she chose to come to Monroe Community College, and she just did a wonderful job here. I'm proud of everything that Erin has accomplished so far in her life. It's gonna keep going. And I admire the passion that she has for just about anything that she does. She used to say, "I should be the poster child for MCC." And now she's gonna be on the Alumni Hall of Fame. She enjoyed her experiences here, and some people just don't realize what a gem this school is.
Being inducted into the MCC Alumni Hall of Fame is a huge honor. I am so tickled to be recognized, especially among the group this year. They are just absolutely incredible. I am really proud to be associated with MCC, and now to be here sitting as an award recipient is pretty amazing. I would like to thank countless people. First, my parents, for sure. They encouraged me and paid for my tuition at MCC, so I'm super grateful for that. My mom for being my nominator, which is probably the sweetest thing ever. I'm able to point out that MCC was truly a family affair. My mom attended MCC. My father at 65 came back to MCC and earned an associate's degree after attending countless colleges and having multiple degrees already. I attended MCC, and so did my sister. So we truly believe in the education and the foundation that MCC offers. MCC changed my life by giving me a really strong foundation and opening me up to a world of opportunities that I wouldn't have had elsewhere. So being able to travel to London for 2 weeks and earn college credit, interviewing for and being accepted to the Disney program and working at Walt Disney World for a semester, having my own radio show at the radio station, all of those things above and beyond having incredible teachers and really awesome class choices, those things really did help to build this strong foundation for me to grow into the adult that I am today. Just in this last year, I became a wife and a stepmom, and that is a path that I never would have seen myself on. So to say, am I on the right path? I'm not entirely sure. I just know that I'm still traveling and I'm taking it all in. I am now with Invesco, which is an international asset manager. We have an office here in Rochester, and I help with the marketing for the municipal bond funds. Those funds were started here in Rochester many years ago, and I help create the marketing materials that our sales force uses to sell those funds. And I also get to be involved in really great opportunities like our Women's Network and our Black Professionals Network, where I'm able to help with things like diversity, equity, and inclusion and make a positive impact on the culture of our company. I utilized my free time to the point of probably like doing too much, but I was able to volunteer for a ton of different organizations within the Rochester community. Very early on, I volunteered at Compeer. I worked as a volunteer at Gilda's Club for many years, and That was a really special place as well. Named for Gilda Radner, Gilda's Club is a cancer support community. With help of many volunteers, started a bachelor auction, which is still going today, which makes me very proud. I was very fortunate to interview for and be accepted into Leadership Rochester. I was in the 2021 class, the best class. We all say that, by the way. The other organization that I was able to spend some time with was Teen Empowerment. Teen Empowerment is on Genesee Street in an area in our city that needs love and attention. And all of those have really opened my eyes to different causes, but also I was able to learn something new with every organization that I was able to be a part of.
President and CEO of the YWCA of Rochester and Monroe County, Myra Henry brings over 20 years of experience as an administrative change agent with a passion for integrating diversity, equity, and inclusion principles within organizational systems. The first woman of color to lead the 138-year-old YWCA, Myra is a much sought-after diversity and inclusion consultant and speaker in the Rochester community. I promise you will be impressed by Myra.
I nominated Myra because it was the right thing to do. She's my sister, and in addition to being my sister, she probably is the person who motivates me most. I remember that both of us had a similar journey through MCC, first generation college student. We really didn't know how to go to college, but she proved not only could we do it, she reached the status of having an earned doctorate degree. So I'm just excited that she pushes me and that she continues to motivate me to be my best self.
I nominated Myra because she exemplifies the very best when you think about someone who's a leader, who also gives back and always looks to help others and is willing to make sacrifices to help others. She's accomplished a great deal as a leader and as a mother, as a daughter, and she's someone who really inspires me to be the best that I can be, and I'm sure others will be inspired by her.
My favorite picture of the two of us, we are there are 5 years between us, so I have to be 7 and she's maybe 2. And she's just small enough and I'm just big enough for me to carry her on my hip. And it is a typical like 60s picture, we're not matching and I got her kind of on my, it's just the most darling thing, but yeah, she's carrying me now for sure. She's carrying me.
Penotra was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016. So, you know, we like to compete and I did think of the fact that she will be up there with the both of us, so we can't tease her for not joining us on the Wall of Fame, but she will be there with us now, and that's something that we all will be proud of.
I still keep my transcript from MCC from when I was 18 years old. And the GPA was low, I'll be honest with you. It was horrible. But to know that MCC did not give up on me, saw promise in me, it brings me to tears. But I am just so humbled and honored to be counted in the few that have made it to the MCC Hall of Fame. After being away from MCC for so long and not finishing my degree, but waking up one day after being employed at a local higher education institution for many years, and I looked around and I decided that in order for me to be formidable in the career space, I needed to get a higher education. I went back to MCC and the counselors were there and went through my years of transcripts and classes I had completed successfully over probably a 10, 15-year period. And they looked at me and said, you only need 2 classes to graduate. And that's when I knew, that's when the light bulb went on and said, this is the beginning of something great. After graduating MCC, I was on fire. So I finished MCC, graduated with my associates, went on and got my bachelor's degree, Shortly thereafter, I got my master's degree. I actually earned 3 degrees in 4 years, and MCC set that foundation. I took a couple of years off and went back to complete my doctorate degree, and all while working full-time at a local university. So it was enriching to know that MCC had laid the foundation for me to pursue doctoral studies later, just a few years later. So currently that helped with my current career as an executive director of a local nonprofit, YWCA, Rochester, Monroe County. We work with women and their families through a variety of support services as it relates to housing, supportive services, rapid rehousing, and that may be women who are escaping domestic violence, as well as education services, so pipeline programs that prepare women for careers. Many of our clients are actual students at MCC. So I get to tell my MCC story quite often in hopes of encouraging others.
Joseph Searles is the Vice President and Chief Community Engagement Officer at Trillium Health. He is a public relations professional, diversity, equity, and inclusion strategist, sought-after speaker, and community leader. Joseph serves on the boards of numerous nonprofit organizations. He has a particular passion and focus to empower and improve the lives of individuals from underrepresented and disadvantaged communities.
I nominated Joseph for the MCC Alumni Hall of Fame. Having been a past Alumni Hall of Famer, I know that it is a distinguished group. It's a group of people who have done some major contributions in the community. And Joseph, I felt, needed to really be recognized, and I wanted to share Joseph with everyone else so that everybody else would know all of the wonderful work that he's doing in the community around diversity, around equity, around inclusivity, looking at health care disparities. It was such a wonderful way for me to express a gratitude for him and to share it with everyone else. I'm so proud that he's so passionate about what he does. When we sit down and we talk about some of the initiatives that are going on in the community, some of the efforts that are going on in the community, we both get very excited about it. And we also both know that there's still a lot more work that needs to be done. And so his energy is something that we definitely have to acknowledge and recognize as someone who is really, truly making a difference.
How do I feel about being inducted into the MCC Hall of Fame? I feel incredible. I mean, it's such a significant recognition, and it's such a privilege and such an honor to be recognized for work that I do. I mean, I feel like I'm Joseph on the job doing work that I enjoy, and when somebody recognizes you for your contributions, it's such an honor. The other part is, I come from these parts, and to be recognized for doing something significant or being a role model in the community that you serve, that means so much to me. I discovered MCC through my family, primarily my mother. My mother was in the business world, and she would take various classes to sharpen skills and to grow professionally. My schooling and education at MCC allowed me, or gave me the clarity to know exactly what career field I wanted to enter. And it was okay. MCC made it okay. I entered the diversity space several years ago, and in that position, I was able to really improve the culture within the organization that I worked for. I was also able to engage in the community in ways that were meaningful to the community, with particular focus on empowering folks. And when I say folks, I mean folks from underrepresented groups and women, and in the space of health and health equity. So I've spent many years in this field, diversity and community relations, and really MCC has laid the foundation for me to be successful in those roles. I've had the privilege of working for organizations that are like-minded and that are passionate about helping others and improving conditions in our community. So I have the privilege now of working for an organization called Trillium Health. And Trillium has been around for nearly 40 years, and it started as a very small HIV clinic and has grown since to expand our services to other underrepresented communities. And I enjoy volunteering and giving back to the community in ways that are in alignment with who I am and what I value. And that's been a thread throughout my career, which is in empowering others and also health and health equity.